My dear student, how are you? Today we will talk about the geometric sequence. What's the meaning of the geometric sequence? Look, if we have some numbers 2 and 6, 18, 54 and 162, we divide 6 over 2 equal 3, 18 over 6 equals 3, 54 over 18 equal 3. Any term divide previous term equal is constant 3. 3 is called the common ratio. 3 is called the common ratio or common base. If we have constant when divide any term divide the previous term, then this number is called geometric sequence. 2 is called first term, 6 second term, 18 third term, 54 fourth term, and so on. First term has ordered 1, second term has ordered 2, 18 third term has ordered 3, and so on. Order of terms must be positive and integers. Impossible to be fraction or negative. Now, T2, T1, the first term equals 2. T2 equals 6 equal 2 times 3. 2 first term and 3 is common ratio. T3 equal 18, 2 times 9 or equal 2 times 3 to the power 2. T4 equal 54 or 2 times 27 or equal 2 times 3 to the power 3. Now, we note that T2 over T1 is ratio equals T3 over T2, the same ratio. T4 over T3, the same ratio equals 3. 3 is constant, always constant. Then it's called the common ratio. Now, the first term T1 equals 2 may be equal A, always equal A. T2 equals 6 equals 2 times 3. 2 first term is A and 3 common ratio is R. Then T2 equal AR. Now T3 equal 18. 2 times 3 to the power 2. Maybe T3 equal first term equals A, common ratio equals 3, then T3 equal AR power 2. Note, the power of R always decrease 1 of the order of term. As T4 we can write as AR power 3. T5 we can write AR to the power 4, and so on. Now we get the general term. General term is equal Tn, the order of term is n, equal AR to the power n minus 1. Note, the power is always decrease 1 of the order of term. Now, let us solve. Look for this example. In geometric sequence 2, 4 and 8 and so on, find A, the fifth term, B, the order of term whose value is 512. What is the difference between the order of term and value of term? The order of term may be first, second, third, fourth, and so on. Must be integer and positive, but the value of term may be any number, positive, negative, or fraction, and so on. Now, the given in this example, LA equals 2, or the first term equals 2. Also, R, the common ratio, we can get by divide any term, divide the previous term. 4 divide 2 equals 2. Then E equal 2 and R equal 2. If we get to T5, the fifth term, T5 equals AR to the power 4. We can substitution by A equals 2 and R equals 2. 2 times 2 to the power 4 equals 32. Then the value of T5 equals 32, but the order of term T5 is fifths. Now we get the order of terms whose value 512. Let the general term equal Tn equal 512. Any term we want to get the order of term, let Tn equal the value of this term. Tn equal 512. Substitution by A and R. 2 times 2 to the power n minus 1 equal 512. Now we can divide the two sides. Then right hand side equal 2 to the power n minus 1, left hand side equal 256. We can the power n minus 1 equals what? By two methods. Number one, we can resolve 256 into the prime numbers, but this method is very difficult for the students. So we can take in log for two sides. This is the second method. When log 2 for the two sides, log 2 to the power n minus 1 equal log 256. We said before the power we can write before log, then n minus 1 equal log 256 over log 2. By calculator we get n minus 1 equal 8. Then n equal 8 plus 1 equal 9. Then the order of term whose value 512 is T9. The order is 9, but the value equal 512. Look the next example. Prove that the sequence Tn, where Tn equal 2 times 3 to the power n minus 5 is geometric sequence. Then find its seventh term. These examples divide into two parts. The first part, Tn equal 2 times 3 to the power n minus 5. Here we know before Tn equal AR to the power n minus 1, but here write Tn equal 2 times 3 to the power n minus 5. Then this term is called nth term. Nth term. How get to R? R equals any term divides the previous term. Then R equals Tn over Tn minus 1. We can substitution the denominator the power n minus 5, but the denominator the power n minus 1 minus 5. Substitution n by n minus 1. Cancel 2 with 2 and 3 to the power n minus 5 over 3 to the power n minus 1 minus 5. Common base 3. Then we can subtract the powers. Then 3 to the power n minus 5 minus n plus 1 plus 5. Note, we change the sign of A. We change the signs of the powers of denominator because we subtract. Then the result equals 3 is constant. Therefore, the sequence is geometric sequence. Now, The second part, seventh term, we have two methods. Number one, substitution in n by 7. Why? Because the nth term equal 2 times 3 to the power n minus 5. When substitution n by 7, therefore T7 equal 2 times 3 to the power 7 minus 5 equals 2 times 9 equal 18. This is the first method. The second method, we can substitution n by 1, then substitution n by 2, then we get a first term T1 and R T2 over T1. Then we have the first term A and R. We can substitution in T7 equal A R to the power 6. A equals 2, R equals 3, and L power equal 6. We get the same result. Tn is a geometric sequence and all of its terms are positive. If T3 plus T4 equals 62 and T7 equals 320, find this sequence. When we get the sequence, we want to know, number one, the first term A, and number two, we want to get R. When we know A and R, we can get the sequence. Now, T3 plus T4 equals 62. We know T3 substitution AR to the power 2. T4 equal AR to the power 3 equal 6. T2 equal AR. Now, we want common factor. We can get common factor AR. Why AR? Why not AR to the power 2? Because the next or the last or the other sides equal 6 AR. We want to common factor AR because cancel in two sides. The common factor meaning we divide every term, divide the common factor. AR to the power 2 over AR equals R. AR to the power 3 over AR equals R to the power 2 equals 6 AR. Now cancel AR from right side and left side. Then we get R plus R to the power 2 equals 6. Now the quadratic equation R power 2 plus R minus 6 equal 0. We get 0 equation. Then we can use the calculator to get LR equals 2 or equals negative 3. Now LR equal negative 3 is refused. Why? Because this sequence all of its terms are positive. Then LR must be is positive. Then LR equals 2, but R equal negative 3 is refused. Now we get R equals 2. We want to the first term A. How? The next part is T7 equals 320. Then T7 equal AR to the power 6 equal 320. Substitution by R by 2, then A times 2 to the power 6 equals 320. To the power 6 equals 64. A times 64 equals 320. Now divide 64 to get LA equals 5. The first term A equals 5 and the common ratio equals 2. Then the sequence equals the first term 5 times 2 equals 10. Then the second term equals 10 times 2 equal 20. The third term equal 20 and so on. Then Tn equal 5, 10 and 20 and so on. Now try to solve. Tn is a geometric sequence in which T5 equal 82 and T4 plus T6 equal 240. Find this sequence. Try to solve.